Hey, yo, it's me, Pops Fan Marmalade, and you're watching the Comics-Related Madness Network. Uh-huh. So come get some. CromCon. CromCon.
If you're a fan of comic books and comic book conventions, Daytona Beach Comic Con needs to be on your list of must-attend events. It's a show that actually focuses on comic books. Imagine that! This year's event is happening on Saturday, September the 6th, and Sunday, September the 7th. Silverline creators will be there, so we'll see you at the show. If you find yourself in the Orlando area, and let's be honest, doesn't everyone come to Orlando for the House of Mouse? Head over to Coliseum of Comics to get your comic book fix. Be sure to check out their location on East Colonial Drive, where they carry a wide selection of independent comics, including Silverline books. Stop by and don't forget to tell them Silverline sent you. Hey, if you're an independent comic creator looking to get your comic printed, look no further than Kablam Digital Printing. They print our comics and do a fantastic job. They can even print special edition covers. When you reach out to them, be sure to tell them Silverline sent you. Looking for a bold way to boost your business? Advertise with Silverline Comics, reaching readers across the U.S. and around the world. Affordable rates, passionate fans, and national and international exposure, all packed inside thrilling, action-packed comics. All ads must be PG-13, perfect for reaching all ages. Spots are limited. Grab your ad space today and become part of the adventure. Silverline Comics, where adventure lives and your brand thrives. Email us at silverlinepublishingllc@gmail.com for more information. And make mine Silverline.
Hi, this is Tim TK, host of That Silverline Show on Tuesday. Join us at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific every Tuesday night as we discuss pop culture and the joys of making comics.
Hi, I'm Barb Kilber, co-host of Silverline's Wednesday Wham. Join us each Wednesday nights as we discuss comics, literature, movies, and anything else that may catch our attention.
I'm Roland Mann, and I host Silverline's Silver Sunday. Join me every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern as we make mine Silverline.
All right, everyone. Welcome again to another night of Wednesday Wham with Silverline. I am your co-host, Kaz. Small little writer here at Silverline. Did a little issue of Trump's in the Christmas issue that came out a couple years ago. Then also penned a Silverline Team Up Volume 2 that's coming out with Tempest and Miss Fury, and then working on another project, which is awesome, that hopefully I can talk about soon. But we're going to go around. For the folks who are just joining us for the first time, we're going to introduce ourselves. I just did it, so you got me. But then we'll go on to Farm next, and then Rob, and then we'll talk about what we're doing tonight. So Barb, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, my name is Barb Kilberg. It looks like I have grease on my lens. It's very fuzzy. Anyway, I have been an inker for 36 years. I've inked for everybody under the sun, including Marvel and DC. I work for Silverline now, work for myself. I'm the creator of Divinity, which Kaz edits. And I'm working on issue number 5 right now. 6 and 7 is penciled. Number 8 has yet to be written. I'm behind on that. And there's another project out there that I've worked on with Mr. Davis, but we can't talk about it.
No, we can't. I'm still waiting on the script for number 2, by the way.
Yeah. And I'm also the CFO for Silverline Comics, so I count the pennies.
Mm-hmm.
I count the pennies.
Didn't know we were
right.
going to have visual aids.
Yeah,
Right, that's right. I mean, soon there won't be any of those. So
I know.
yeah.
Then what am I
Well,
going to do?
yes, there will. People have jars of them in their houses. Yeah.
We'll see what
we've got a big jar about this big full of pennies. So yeah. But anyway, yeah, I guess it's my turn, right?
Your turn.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, as it says here on the little right here below me, I'm Rob Davis. I've been a comic book artist since almost actually just a little bit longer than Barb was. It started out inking. I think we started like the same year or so. But anyway, I've started out as a letterer, then I was a inker, then I was a penciler, and that's what I've done mostly since then. I've worked on characters from the distant past, like Merlin, all the way to the distant future with Star Trek and Kirk, Spock, and McCoy, and all kinds of stuff in between. Actually got to illustrate Zorro for a prose book. Yeah, one on my bucket list. Yes. So anyway, yeah. So I've been in the industry for that long. In the last few years, I've also been the art director and illustrator for Airship 27, which is a pulp revival publisher. And within the last few years, I've worked with Silverline, and one of the books was Twilight Grim. And as Barb mentioned, we've got another project coming from Silverline, but it's coming very slowly so far. But we'll get there. So anyway, Kaz, what are we doing tonight?
So tonight, it's another round of trivia.
Another
right?
round.
Skynet.
Yeah, but it won't just be
Skynet.
Yes. Skynet.
Are you working with an AI?
He's working with AI. Oh my.
So AI will have so the panelists will have to select an answer. The viewers can select an answer. And then I have tasked Skynet with guessing what you would guess.
Oh.
I gave them your resume, and
okay.
I want to see if they guess what you guess. And if they do guess what you guess, right? Skynet gets a point. But he has to guess both of you correctly to get a point.
Oh, okay.
What the hell is Skynet?
Huh?
What the hell is
AI.
Skynet?
You don't know what Skynet is?
No!
Terminator, Barb! Terminator, Skynet.
Well, I mean, I know what Skynet is on the movie.
Terminator. Yeah.
I mean, is there an AI program called Skynet?
No.
So, all right, you just named it Skynet after Terminator.
Right.
Okay.
That would cause mass panic if they named an AI.
With
Skynet.
our fan base, yeah, it would.
Oh my gosh, that would be horrible. It would be awesome and horrible at the same time. But no. So this is ChatGPT guessing. ChatGPT is guessing.
Okay, you're using ChatGPT in comments.
Yeah, for this one.
All right.
For this one, we'll see how it goes. All right, so tonight I'm gonna ask you to choose between two power sets, right? So I'm gonna ask you which you would prefer to have and why. Okay. So you got to give me a valid reason why and what you would do with it, and within reason, what you would do with it. And then I'm going to same rules, viewers. So I'm going to ask the panel first. And you know what? This time you don't have to hold your answers because it's your opinion as to what you would have, right? And if Skynet gets both Barb and Rob's answer, we're going to give Skynet a point.
So it has it has just offhand 25% chance of getting it right.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. Well, that's pretty good odds in their favor, but okay.
We'll see.
I can live with that.
We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the first choice, we're going to start with Barb. And we're going to Barb, of these two, which would you choose? Super strength or super speed? And why?
Super speed.
Okay. Why would you choose super speed?
So I could zip back to Iowa anytime I wanted to. I think I've mentioned this before, but my entire family, except for my mom and my husband and I and our kids, live back in Iowa. And my father's 88. He lives on the farm, and I could just. My sister's back there. She's my bestie. I'd love to zip back there and have a glass of wine out on the back porch with my sister anytime I wanted to, and I wouldn't have to schedule it a month out.
Okay, that's fair. All right, Rob, super strength or super speed?
Super speed, because then I could get pages done a lot faster.
Well, the actual material may not be able to keep up with you.
I might actually ignite it from the friction. Yeah,
That's a good point too.
Yeah, or I could actually learn how to do digital work faster if the computer could keep up.
That's true.
But so I could do artwork faster. There's so many things that I want to get done, but I'm not getting any younger, and I don't know how much longer I'm going to be on this here planet. I don't know if I've got enough time to get it all done. So being a little faster, being super speed, I could get maybe not all, but most of it done that way.
Very fair. But you'll always come up with more to do if you do super speed.
Oh, that's how it works.
Yeah, you'll always come up with more. As
soon as you expand the envelope, it fills right back up again. Every time.
All right, viewers, if you're out there, I'm interested in what you would choose, super strength versus super speed. I'll give you a couple seconds to chime in if you choose to do so. And then I'll let everybody know how Skynet fared in there. Okay.
Yeah, it'd be so fun to just like, hey, Leanne, that's my sister.
Mhm.
There's a craft fair in Tipton, Iowa. You want to go? Yeah, all right, I'll be there in 2 minutes.
Not even 2 seconds.
Be ready.
All right, so it looks like, no viewers are chiming in, but Skynet got it right. Skynet said that both of you would choose super speed.
What did you put in the chat, Pete? What did you plug in?
Your resume. I put how long you guys have been in the industry doing what you do specifically, right? Yeah. And I told it what generation you were and everything, and it said, boom, it came up with the rationale.
Married with 2 cats. 2 kids, 2 grandkids.
Another thing you can get the housework done faster. You can, super speed just makes sense. So
all right, so if Skynet gets it right,
and we don't get any points.
You don't get any points.
But if it gets it wrong, you
get points. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see how this works. All right.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Here's the next choice. Flight, and this is for you, Barb. Flight or teleportation?
Teleportation.
That was too fast.
I know. I mean, and flight. I love flight. I've always had flying dreams. As long as I can remember, I've had flying dreams. So that would be awesome. But teleportation right now is more important to me, not only for the whole Iowa thing, but I want to see the world. And I'm 66, and I need to get off my ass and do it. But there's always the money thing and the time thing, and this way I could just pop over to Paris, get a croissant for breakfast.
Yep, get me. I mean, gosh, you know what? You wouldn't have to get out your chair half the time. Just take it with boop, 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 boop.
I know. Maybe pop down to Egypt and get some, baklava or something like that.
That would be so interesting. Teleportation. That's an overpowered ability, so that I can understand why you picked it. All right, Rob. What is your choice? If you had the ability to fly or the ability to teleport?
Choice.
Yeah, if you would have split that one, yeah.
Both cool.
You had to make me choose between 2 of my favorites.
Yeah, I think I'd pick flight.
Why?
Just because it would be so cool to just kind of take off and just fly wherever I wanted to go. I think I'd pick flight because it seems you see birds in the sky and they're so, for the most part, they're pretty serene, especially the bigger winged birds, just, up there just having a good time.
Well, until
So,
a bug
yeah.
flies in, until a bug
Yeah.
pops in your eye.
Well, then you wear goggles, man. You wear goggles.
Well, it goes up your nose or your mouth. You're flying. That'd be fun.
That's all right. You wear one of those motorcycle helmets with the thing in the front. It's like Fonzie used to say: you don't smile when you ride a motorcycle, or you get bugs in your teeth.
Yeah. All right. So what do we think? Oh, go ahead, Rob. What do you think?
I was going to say, well, I can't wait to see if Skynet got this one.
So, Barb, you think Skynet got your choice?
Yes.
It did. Rob, do you think Skynet got your choice?
I'm thinking no, but
it did not. It did not get your choice.
Yeah, because it was such a close thing, and thinking to the fact that I've done Star Trek. If that was in my resume, there's teleportation in Star Trek, so it might have assumed that's why I pick of it. But it was a close thing. It almost got a point. So
yeah, Rob chose teleportation because it aligns with classic superhero ideas he grew up penciling. Bold, recognizable powers that visually pop and carry mythic weight is what it said.
Yeah, it would be tough, but yeah, I picked flight, not not to just give Skynet a problem,
genuine,
but it's a genuine choice.
Yeah,
so,
if it was flight and something else, I would have gone with flight because, like I said, I've had flying dreams my entire life, even from the very young age.
Now, I'm interested in this next one. This next one is going to be really good. I don't know if Skynet is going to get this. We'll see.
Okay.
Hey, Woody.
You need to join in, Woody.
All right, Woody. So just a recap of what we're doing. Okay. So we're letting the panelists and the viewers choose between two power sets. Now, we also got AI in here, which is Skynet. And AI was fed the resume of both Barb and Rob, right? And it's got to choose what they would choose as a power set in order to get the point. Now, if AI gets it, then Barb and Rob don't, right? So that's what we're doing right now, okay? But I'll ask what what power set the viewers choose as well. So feel free to chime in. Okay. Hey, Pop. Boo.
Hi, Pops.
All right. I'm interested in this next one. Barb, if you had a choice between invulnerability or regeneration, which one would you choose and why?
Regeneration.
Why?
Because I'm 66. And everything. I have so much more I want to do, and now my joints ache and my I run out of energy faster. If regeneration, I could stay younger and get more done, and when I ultimately face something that fails on me, then I would just grow a new one or whatever.
But you still experience the pain.
Well, there's that.
There's that, but still,
I know it's temporary, right?
I've got such a long bucket list, and
Yep.
All right. Okay. Fair enough. Regeneration for Barb.
Yep,
all right, Rob. Which one would you pick? Invulnerability or regeneration, and why?
I would pick regeneration for similar reasons to Barb. There's certain. I'm 70. So I've got a few years on her, and so I've got my own set of aches and pains and things that I would like to fix, and regeneration.
Regrow the pads between my knuckles, so I don't have arthritis in my writing and my art hand anymore.
So yeah, I would pick regeneration as well.
All right, chat. What would you pick? Woody, Pops, would you rather be invulnerable or have the ability to regenerate limbs, cells?
Yeah, there's so many things.
Organs.
Fix.
Yeah, organs. Yeah,
I wonder if it would fix gray hair.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, you would actually. Well, I would assume that it would.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess it depends on how
once
you
you
get
had,
gray hair.
I think once you had gray hair, you can't you
You
can't go
can't.
back. Yeah, I
But
don't
would
think
you
so.
ever? Would
You
you
would
ever
you
get though?
if you had thin hair, I think that would regenerate.
I don't have that
But
problem. Mine's
yeah,
really thick and hot.
my hairline used to be here, so yeah,
Yes. Mine is so thick and so hot.
so that's good. That's good.
All right.
Not in the middle of all this humidity.
Well, that's true.
Woody
That's
says
what-
invulnerable.
Woody says invulnerable. Okay, so you can get hit, and nothing happens.
Take a hit.
Yeah, you can take it.
that's good too, but no, I think regeneration would be much cooler,
So how
much better.
do you think, Barb, that AI agrees with you that Skynet said that you would choose regeneration, or do you think it said you would choose to be invulnerable?
It's gonna say we are old farts
Mhm.
because you
Yeah.
said you already fed that information in.
Yeah, it knows how old we are.
I did, and you're right. It did say regeneration for you. It did.
And did it say anything about my elderly age?
No, it didn't say that. No. Rob? Do you think it chose that for you though?
I think so. Yeah, I would think so because I'm older than she is. So yeah, but
It did.
yeah,
It-
yeah, of course it did. Of
Skynet.
course
It did not
yeah.
say it's vulnerable for.
So yeah, what you could do is have the viewers also say get a point if they figure out what Skynet figured out.
Oh, okay. This is good.
I mean,
okay, okay.
let's give it. Yeah, does that
Okay.
sound like that? Sounds fair, doesn't it?
All right, it does. So, Woody, Pops, listen up. So you are tasked with answering the question as to whether or not you think Skynet selected what Rob and Barb said or didn't. And so if you get it right, you get a point. Okay? All right, here we go. I'm already, Woody said I'm already 3/4 dead. All right, so
Yep, there's the obligatory
yeah,
cat appearance.
the cat flyby.
yeah, it's gonna happen a whole bunch of times. All right,
Yeah.
Barb,
Yes. Lay it on me.
would you rather be telepathic or telekinetic?
Telepathic,
Why?
because I'm nosy.
Is that why?
And I would make a fantastic spy. I mean, I could command ungodly fortune for the government to go, over to Russia or Iran or wherever, and just think about the money I could make.
You could, but I mean, there's a downside to well, it depends on what version of telepathy.
Yeah, I want to
Yeah,
be able to turn it
exactly.
on and off. If I can
Yeah.
turn it on and off, then I could, or be great for blackmail.
Oh my gosh, Barb, what is this villain territory? Oh my gosh, you're aligning with like the Sinister Six. This is not good.
I told you I could be morally ambiguous.
All right, Rob. Telepathy or
I
telekinesis?
would only blackmail evil people.
That's how it all starts.
I
That's
know.
how it all.
A
It
slippery
always
slope.
starts. It's a
Slippery slope.
slippery slope.
Yeah,
Everybody
well,
turns evil.
yeah, I'm always. I always have problem with the bad side of telepathy, and it would definitely have to be something you could turn off
Yeah.
if you were going to pick it. But I would probably pick telekinesis, so
Mhm.
I
What,
could
you
move
can
things
pick up the
around.
couch to dust under?
Yeah, and or even rather than sit at the drawing board, I can sit across the room and make the pencil do what I want it to do from across the room.
But you wouldn't
So,
be able
yeah.
to see it. You know how we
Well,
are.
well, that's true. I guess I get binoculars.
But then if I
yeah.
had regenerative powers, my
Yeah,
eyes would get
Yeah,
better.
if we could get
True.
all these powers we picked all at once. So yeah,
I mean,
all
then
of
you
them.
would, you would long to get rid of all of them because you'd be like a super person, right? Like meaning godlike almost. Everything would be boring to you.
Mhm.
You don't ever have
Yeah,
to
but-
walk. You don't ever have to. You can just
Telekinesis then is my final
Telekinesis.
answer.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, chat. So here's the question, chat. Do you think Skynet guessed what Rob and Barb guessed? Or do you think that in some way it guessed something different? So Rob chose telekinesis and Barb chose telepathy. Do you think that Skynet chose those same two things for them, or it chose something different?
I can see Rob's wife. Rob, I need to vacuum the room. Just lift everything up for a moment.
I kind of think if you had telepathy, you probably wouldn't like a lot of people because a
I
lot
know.
of people.
Who says I like
that's
them
what-
now?
That's the downside. Yeah,
Right?
That's one of the
Yeah,
downsides.
you probably wouldn't like anybody. Like, just shut up.
That's why you
People-
turn it on and off. I would never turn it around my phone.
All you got to do is hear a thought once, though,
Right.
and then you're just like,
Yeah, forget to turn it off. Yeah.
All right.
But it could
No,
make me a ton of money.
All right, so looks like nothing Woody, nothing Bob. Okay. Barb, do you think Skynet
Yes.
agreed with you? You do you think so? Well, it did. It agreed with you, Barb. It said you would say telepathy.
Yeah, I'm
Right.
predictable.
Barb's seasoned sense of narrative and symbolism draw her to telepathy because it reflects control, preservation, or the legacy of the values that are lost in the career.
Wow.
That is right. I like
it
control.
It got her 100%. Wow.
All right, Rob.
Which is why, by the way, I've tried it once in my life. I do not like marijuana because I was not in control. Hated it.
Bob says Skynet cannot read minds. It is not. It's not. It's not.
It
It's
is
not.
not sentient.
It's not.
Exterminate.
All right, Rob. Do you
I
think?
can't do that, Hal.
Exactly. I can't do that, Dave.
I can't do that.
I'm
Dave.
sorry, Dave. I can't do that.
Do you think it guessed what?
No.
You,
No, I don't think it guessed.
Why not?
I'm going on instinct on these. I'm thinking not.
You're right, Rob. It did not guess.
Uh-huh.
It did not guess your answer.
Yeah.
It said that you. It said that you would get telepathy. It's interesting.
Well, again, I can see how it might pick that for me, but I truly had telepathy just has got so much of a downside to it. It would be cool. It would be cool for maybe a week, but after that, shutting off all the. Yeah, maybe not even a week, maybe a couple of days.
It should be like a human lie detector.
Right,
Well,
but you hear so much more than the lie, right?
And-
That's the problem.
And I actually have experienced being able to quote unquote read people's minds, because when I was in college, I observed people very sharply.
All right, Sherlock.
And I could read what they were thinking. I could figure out what they were thinking by the way they stood, by what they were, where they were, and what they were doing.
Body language.
Yeah, body language. I could quote unquote read their minds. So I've kind of experienced that, and yeah, it's okay. But I think being able to move stuff around would be cooler. So, but yeah,
See, I think the super intelligence part of it would be great. Like if you could just pick up on the patterns and cues, and then you can figure out what's happening next. That would be awesome. But the telepathy part, where you get all the extra information, that's
everything they're thinking out loud. You would get everything they're thinking. And I
You'd
don't
make
know
a
about
great
you,
psychologist, though.
But occasionally
I mean, you
I
would.
think stuff that I really would never let come out of this,
Right,
And
right.
I would never say that out loud, but I go, "What a jerk he is," or
Yeah.
or something like that. I would not say that out loud. I go, and I might even back off of it and go, "I thought that for a second, but they're not really." But
Right,
it's that,
right.
yeah.
It's going through that problem solving loop, right? Where you get to do something.
There's some
make a
cool
mistake.
stuff you can do with telepathy, but yeah, I think it would appeal to my worst instincts as well.
Yeah, I'm a telekinetic person all the way. I think telekinesis is one of those overpowered things. There's so many little. You could be a great spy as a telekinetic. I mean, moving pencils, moving little. I don't know. Like you can fly. Yeah, you can fly. You could. Everything is a weapon, and everything is a tool, and everything is. I mean, but I would just.
Even that's dangerous too.
It is.
That might help the bad side of me come out as well.
That's
but
right.
I would think knowing what people completely think of me. I'm sure there are plenty of people out there who hide their true feelings about me, and I would be very upset if I found out. So,
right.
Yeah.
I never claimed to be a nice person.
Well, people are allowed to grow, right? And
we're a good person.
People are allowed to discover you and have the wrong opinion at first and be pleasantly surprised. But we would get the whole thing. Like
there's times when you give a white lie. Somebody asks you a question and you don't tell them the whole truth. But in this case, you would know the whole truth, and I'm not sure I'd really want to know the whole truth. So yeah, definitely telekinesis.
I already know, and I love them too. That's funny. All right, here's a good one. I think Skynet is going to be stumped on this. Barb, I do.
Okay.
I do. Would you rather be a shapeshifter or be able to go invisible?
Go invisible.
Why?
Because I can spy.
This is so bad.
Well, you can do that. You can do that with the shape-shifting too, though.
You could.
Yes, I could, but I could do all kinds of illegal things.
What is going on?
I would be the best. I would be the best.
So I bet Skynet does get this with her. Especially if it's adding to the algorithm with her actual answers.
I could sneak into top secret facilities and just stand there and watch everything and say, "Oh my God, this is what they're doing."
I guess that's you could.
Yeah.
So being invisible would be yours.
Thanks, Pops.
Super villain.
Nobody could keep me out of Fort Knox.
Oh my God. See, then you'd be disappointed. You go in there and you wouldn't even find nothing and be so angry. That's so funny. But you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know. All right, Rob. Do you want to be a shapeshifter or do you want to be able to go invisible?
I think I'd want to be a shapeshifter.
Okay.
Because
why?
My favorite pulp character is Secret Agent X, who's a man of 1,000 faces. He can assume anyone's identity. So I shapeshifter because then I could be anyone. I could be anything. Because if you're a shapeshifter, I mean, if you're like Odo from Deep Space Nine, he assumed inanimate objects as well as other people. It just I think that's kind of cool. I wouldn't mind doing that, and I could be a spy doing that too. So, in fact, that's Secret Agent X as a spy.
If I was shape-shifting, I'd make myself look young again. And beautiful.
Well, there's that too.
So Woody said he would go invisible, and then Pops, I would let Barb turn into a supervillain, but only Barb. All right. Pops, Woody, do you think that AI got Rob and Barb's answer? Do you think it guessed correctly?
Ding, 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 ding.
See if they bite.
In the meantime, guess maybe we should, Barb and I should say whether we thought it picked
Oh, that's a good. Do you think you said you thought it would get this though, right? Didn't
Well,
you?
it's got me pretty pegged by now. I think
I'm
it'll get
thinking
me.
it's going to get Barb.
Yeah, it's got me.
I'm questioning whether it would get me or not, but I
It
think
seems
it
to
would.
have me figured out pretty well.
I
It's very
think it would get both of us on this one.
You
So,
do.
pretty
mhm.
Skynetty.
And Barb
Mhm.
thinks it would get both too. Oh, Bob said no, because AI is garbage in, garbage out. It's true. If you put in garbage, it will not get. It'll just go based on that
Well,
information.
that's computers in general. You get out exactly what you put in. Yep.
Which makes me question what you put in.
I didn't put in a ton. I didn't put in a ton, right? But I put in what a viewer on the show would know of you. So
Okay,
basically what we
okay.
talk about, yeah.
Woody says he doesn't think it'll get me.
Okay,
Will
I
not
think
agree
AI
with
will
Barb.
not agree with Barb. Okay, that's fair. Okay. So Skynet did not get Barb.
Yay!
It did
Oh,
not
wow.
get Barb. It
Didn't
did
think
get
it
you,
was-
Rob.
Did not think I was as evil as I am. Okay.
So it got me, but not
It
Barb.
did get you. It got you. Yes, it did get you.
And the viewers get 1 point because
Oh,
Woody's,
yes, they did. They did.
Yep. Woody got it right.
Okay.
Yep.
Skynet loses on that one. Now, this one is going to be interesting. I don't know what you would. I mean, I have my idea of what you would pick on the other ones, but on this one, I do not know which one you would pick.
We surprised you a couple of times, but yeah.
And I promise that my answer will not because I can spy. It will not be that.
I don't think you can make. Yeah, I don't think you can make that promise. I do not think you can make that promise on some of these. All right, Barb. Would you rather be able to time travel or be a precog, have precognition?
Oh my God. Oh, that's a tough one.
It is. This is a good one. This is a really good one.
I'm going to say precog because
Why?
the time travel would and believe it or not, I'm not being evil here. I am being altruistic because the time travel would be simply for my own selfish curiosity because I'm a snoop.
Mm-hmm.
And I would go back and meet Jesus and see who killed who and buried all the bodies where they built.
Would you just watch Barb? Would you just go
Find
to the
out
murder scene and be like, oh?
I just want to
Find
know.
out where Hoffa is buried.
Yeah, see where Jimmy Hoffa's buried, stuff like that. But I'm going to go with precog because I can do something about them.
Mhm.
Like if I had known, in advance some things in my life, I would have averted them.
Mm. Okay. All right, Rob, what do you say?
This is really a tough one.
It
It
is.
really is. Because I would like to have both of these.
I know, right? I mean, if
I
you
would
had
love to
both, you'd
have
be God. I
both.
mean, it'd be, yeah.
Oh yeah, it'd be over for the world. Yeah,
Mhm.
for definitely.
Over.
It would. Yeah, I'd be king of the world. Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. I think I'd go with time travel.
Time travel?
Yeah, and
Why?
I bet Skynet gets that on me too.
Why? Why do you think? Why do you?
Just because, I think with my background, I think time travel is probably the one it would pick.
Pops is worried about the butterfly effect.
Oh, he'd say he would be a precog. Oh, and Woody said, so Woody thinks that Skynet would agree with Barb. We'll find out shortly. We'll find out.
I mean, I could
thinking.
stop like planes from crashing and people getting.
Yeah, that brings out the good side of her this time.
Yeah,
Okay.
this time I am not totally heartless.
That's how it starts. It always starts with good stuff, and then you
Good
start
intentions.
thinking, yeah, millions.
Yeah.
I can make millions off of
The
what?
road to Hades is paved
Yes,
with good intentions.
I could be the
yes.
greatest psychic in the world.
I think I would choose time travel because it feels like you have greater control over it. Precog feels like you get what you get, and then you
Yeah.
have to figure out how to deal with that. Like,
Right.
for instance, you see Mount Helens explode, and then a whole bunch of people die. Like that's so overwhelming. Like, dude, I can't stop the volcano. You
No,
know?
politics.
Yeah,
It's gonna blow.
and I may not have time to get a hold of everybody that's there, and they may not believe me.
Right.
So,
But if
yeah.
you save at least a couple, you know.
That's true. At least one life breathes easier. All right. So in the case of Skynet versus Rob and Barb. So Barb, Skynet agreed with you.
Yep, I figured it would.
Skynet got that one.
In the case of
I'm
Rob
thinking-
versus
And Woody
Skynet.
got that one right, by the way.
And Woody got it right. And in the case of Skynet versus Rob,
I got it.
Skynet did not get you.
Didn't. That
It
surprises
did not
me.
get you. And
That
I'm surprised at
surprises
that
me.
too. I'm surprised at that too.
I
So,
am very surprised at that.
so Rob, you get a point.
Uh-huh.
And then
Viewers got a point.
viewers
Does Woody
get a
got that right?
point. All right. Okay, here we go. This is you know what? I'm up in the air on this one. I think it's not gonna get Rob's answer. I can't stop the volcano. All right. So Barb,
Yes.
would you rather control fire or ice?
Ooh.
Ooh.
Right. Right. This one is an interesting one.
Wow. Oh,
Yeah.
Fire.
Wow.
You would rather do fire? Why?
Because it just seems like all you ever see on TV these days is wildfire, wildfire, wildfire. And how I could just go right in there and just,
And stop it. Yeah. And stop
That's
it.
really good.
Yeah.
That's really without damaging stuff. Like if you had to do ice, you would you would freeze everybody's stuff. It would kind of jack it up. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. What about you, Rob? What would you choose? Fire or ice?
It's an interesting question.
then I could stop the volcano.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Well,
With the ice you could, yeah.
yeah, you couldn't stop the
with
pressure.
fire. Yeah, fire you could stop the volcano too. Because you could suck the heat out of it. That's if you could control fire and or heat. Yeah, I'm thinking fire.
Fire?
Yeah, I'm thinking fire.
I'd be in the plane all the time. California, Canada, back to California. Now back to Canada.
Right, you wouldn't have
Now
a
over
life.
to-
You
yeah.
would just be
Over to
Right
Sicily.
now, yeah.
All right,
Big-
chat. Do you think that Skynet got Barb and Rob's choice? Or do you think it missed the bus on this one? What do you think? I think that I would choose. You know, it's interesting because I think that in terms of intimidation, fire is very intimidating, right? People look at it and it's like a fear thing, right?
They both can really hurt you bad.
They both are
Yeah.
very dangerous, but fire seems very intimidating. Ice, it takes a while. You know, you got to figure out that ice is dangerous. So I think Skynet wants ice, so I disagree with them both.
Both.
Okay,
It didn't get either one of us.
You
It
think
didn't get either one
Skynet
of us.
wouldn't choose either of them. So in this case, for Barb, Skynet got it.
Oh, of course.
For Rob, Skynet got it.
Yeah.
It said you both
Yep.
would choose fire. So Skynet gets the point.
And
Uh-oh,
believe it or
kids
not,
back on
I
the
don't
board.
want the fire for destructive purposes. I want it.
You had a really good reason. But I was surprised. I did not think of that.
You didn't think of that? Oh my God! I live in Wisconsin. We're breathing.
Well,
We're breathing Canadian smoke up here.
You could weld with it. You could put things together. You could take things apart with it. I mean, ice is a little limited in what it can do. You can do good and bad things with fire, and I think it's mostly there's good things you can do with it too. But I think you're limited in the good things you can do with ice.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's why I went with fire.
Ice sculpture.
Well, you could preserve.
Yeah,
bodies
would be.
and,
Yeah, you preserve things or take things out.
that's true. All right, this is gonna be a good one, and I think this is another one that's gonna be up in the air for me. magnetism, Barb? Would you rather control, be Magneto?
Oh, you don't mean like super charming.
No, well, you could be that too. Magnetism
Magnetic personality. You already got that, Barb. You don't
Right.
need that.
versus gravity control.
Ooh.
Hmm. Well, no, I think I'm going to go with magnetism.
Okay, magnetism.
Just
Why?
gravity seems so boring.
You can crush that. Why? Why does that seem boring?
No,
That is
no,
a
no,
very. That's a
Well,
dangerous.
let me wait till you hear what I have in mind with gravity.
Okay. Magnetism. I just, you could, there's so much metal. There's so many things you can do with metal.
Mm-hmm.
And, oh, that car is in my way. I'll just move it.
Yep. Just.
It sounds more fun.
Rob,
it sounds more fun than gravity.
Gravity. Because I think if you properly use gravity, you can travel at nearly the speed of light, so you could go anywhere. Yeah. I'm with what little I know about science and gravity. I think you would be able to.
You could float yourself up into the sky.
So I could travel all over the universe. I think so.
And you're almost. As long as you're, on a body that has a relatively strong gravitational field, you're almost invincible from any ballistic.
Yes.
You mean there's so much you can.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Well,
now don't forget though that the Earth runs around a magnetic pole.
It's true. You have. Magnetism is in its own right.
It's very powerful, and it's one of the reasons why we have living creatures on the face of the Earth.
Yeah,
the magnetic field protects us from the cosmic rays and the sun stuff that gets thrown at us. Yeah. So yeah.
I don't need to be any heavier than I already am.
Or lighter. Gravity you can go either way. So yeah.
All right. So Woody says gravity. But do you think, chat? You think Skynet got them both, or do you think Skynet lost on this one?
Which one would you pick, Kaz?
This is hard. I put myself into, if I am a being that lives on Earth, right? I think, wow, they're both awesome, but I think I would choose gravity. I do. I think there's something about like, somebody walking up to you. Maybe they don't have metal anywhere on them, but you could just crush them, make their footsteps feel so heavy. They can't. I don't know. It's just something very, very intimidating. Maybe that's the villain side.
Think of all the guns I could round up.
Yeah, but then there's always a way around that with new technology and material science. People
are. You're gonna crush everybody?
Maybe. Not everybody, Bob. The select few will not be crushed. No. I don't know. All right, so Bob says he doesn't think Skynet is gonna get it. So you know what? For Barb, Skynet did not get it. Skynet did not get Barb. It didn't, and I'm surprised.
Wow, that's interesting. I would have thought she would have picked. I would have thought she'd pick magnetism.
I would have too, but Skynet didn't get it. But it did get you.
Okay. Yeah.
Now you got to explain the rules to Henry.
All right, Henry. Here's what's going on. Hey, how you doing? Here's what's going on. So in this show, we're gonna pick between two power sets.
Give me my point.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Thank you for keeping me honest. Thank you for keeping me honest. And you know what? The viewers get one too, right? Because
yes, he did say it wouldn't get us both. Yeah.
All right. So Henry, here's how it's gonna work. The panelists will choose between two different power sets, right? So they'll, I'll give them the choice. They'll choose one. They'll explain why they chose that. And I've put, a brief resume of both panelists in an AI generate, a chat GPT, right? That's what we're calling Skynet. So if Skynet guesses correctly, Skynet gets the point. And he has to guess both correctly to get the point. But if Skynet does not guess both correctly, it does not get the point, and whoever, didn't agree with Skynet basically gets the point. And I'm going to ask the viewers if they think that Skynet is going to either agree with them or disagree, if Skynet is going to get it right or wrong. And if you as the viewer get that answer right, you get a point. So right now you're kicking butt, right? Viewers are kicking butt.
As
I
usual.
know that may sound confusing, but we're here. We're going to give this a go. All right.
Yeah,
So
well, you'll see how it works on this next one. Yeah.
Yeah. We just did magnetism and gravity, which is a hard one. It's so good. Would you rather be able to become a giant, or would you rather shrink? Barb, which one? Become greatly big, huge, or have the ability to just shrink?
Become bigly or smally? Okay. Big.
Big?
Yeah.
Okay. Why?
I could go places faster. I could pick up things like buildings. I'd be afraid of getting squashed if I was small. And there's spiders.
Mm-hmm. And other things.
Yeah, there's probably things that are even worse than spiders.
Yeah.
But spiders are my thing. And if I came across a spider when I was that size, I would probably just have a heart attack and die right on the spot. So I would go big.
You would go giant. What about you, Rob? Giant?
I for similar reasons to Barb. I don't want to go small because there's too many things that could harm me. Personally, I'd rather just stay the way I am, because I think I'm fine just this way. But if I have to choose one, I'd go with getting bigger. So,
okay, those are fair answers. I think I would choose growing bigger as well. I would. All right, but chat, what do you think? Do you think that AI nailed this choice and knows exactly what they would choose, or do you think that it got it completely wrong? And I know if AI got it, so I'm trying not to give it away with my.
I don't think it got it, but
you don't. Okay, so
I don't think it
got us both.
I don't think it got us both.
But do you think it got you, Rob, or do you think it didn't get Barb?
I think it didn't get Barb.
All right, so Henry says, depends. I would save a lot on my
true. One crack would last you a lifetime.
Yeah.
But do you think
until the spider got you? So
do you think AI was able to predict Barb and Rob's answer? AI got it right. Okay. What do you think the AI got it right? But AI got them wrong. AI said you both would choose to shrink.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's thinking about what you could draw in that setting, right? Like I think it's thinking about the
artistic view.
Yeah, in terms of the artistic view of that.
Not take the spiders into account.
Yeah. So
I didn't know that about you.
Mm-hmm.
Or me, because I wouldn't want to come up against like a praying mantis or
one frog and that sticky tongue, and you're done for.
Oh my god!
Same thing, yeah, yeah. Too many predators for small creatures.
Do you remember the movie with Jeff Goldblum, The Fly?
Oh god! Yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah. Or how about Tarantula?
No,
I saw that.
Nope.
I saw that in the theater.
You could not pay me enough to watch that.
They re-released it when I was a kid, and I saw it in the theater. It scared the crap out of me.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Shrinking man syndrome. Henry said.
Yeah, I saw that on Svengoolie, and that was an interesting movie.
I mean, it was fun when you were watching someone shrunk the kids because all these fantastical views and everything like that. But in real life.
No. All right. Well, here we go.
Too dangerous.
This is probably the last one. So this one will be for 2 points. No, maybe we'll get one more. But I'll make this one 2 points.
Did you put all the points up?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I got mine, didn't I?
I added them. Yeah. I
Yeah.
added them to the score.
Yeah.
All right. This one will be 2 points. I'm trying to choose a good one that I think that it's not going to get you. I don't know.
Yeah, because we're like 5-6 minutes away from time to cut off. So yeah, a couple more.
Barb,
What's this one?
Barb, would you want to be able to duplicate yourself,
Ooh.
like multiple man, or would you want to be able to absorb others' knowledge?
Oh yeah. I want to know everything. Yes, I want to absorb others' knowledge because I can't even tell you how much time I waste on Google just Googling random shit that I've heard, because I'm curious. I am endlessly curious about everything. So I would want to absorb knowledge. Like
No. Henry, you get points whether you guess if Skynet will get the viewers right or wrong, right? So if you can guess what Skynet is going to think, meaning not Skynet's answer, but whether or not it agrees or disagrees with Barb.
There's no way for Skynet to know whether the viewers get an answer right or not. So yeah.
All right, Rob. Would you rather duplicate yourself, multiple man, right? Or absorb other folks' knowledge?
He wants to work them.
Absorb other people's knowledge.
You surprised me.
No, because I do that already. I soak up all kinds of knowledge already. So being able to walk up to somebody and pull their knowledge out.
I figured you would have said duplicate yourself so that you can get more work done.
No, that was tempting. But no, there's going to come a day where I can no longer draw, probably. So having multiples of me is not going to help me there. When I get to be an old man, being able to learn stuff constantly, to pull in stuff from around me all the time, yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Here we said go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, when I'm 90 years old, I probably won't be able to see or see well enough to draw, but I would be able to pull in knowledge. So, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Henry said he'd say duplicate. Other people are not that smart. I think I would actually say duplicate as well. There's some. It depends. I think it depends on what happens when you duplicate, right? Like if I can understand what my clone or what the duplicate experiences, if I could have that, then I gain knowledge really quickly.
Yeah, right? You have essential telepathic contact with your your
if
other
it's
half.
like you share that experience.
What if he's an evil clone and he pawns off his evil doings on you? Oh, he did it.
And that's why if it's its own thing, then I would not want that.
You laugh about that, but I actually had a guy who looked like me getting me in trouble when I lived in Springfield, Missouri.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I was in a part of town once where I normally didn't travel, and I went to a grocery store. And while I was in the store, this guy walked up to me and he goes, "I really enjoyed your party last night." I didn't have a party last night. And who do you think I am? And he said some name, and I'm going, "Nope, sorry." So, yeah, some guy, there's even more to the story. But anyway, that's an aside. But yeah, no, I've already seen what kind of trouble a duplicate can get you into. So,
all right. So
Henry says duplicate. Okay.
Well, he thinks
AI will say duplicate.
Yeah, he thinks Skynet is going to say duplicate. He thinks Skynet is going to disagree with both of you. Right?
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, duplicate, cut the work in half. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, or
so for 2 points.
Less.
Well, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that Skynet agreed with you or disagreed, or
I'm going to say disagree.
You don't think Skynet agreed with you? Okay.
I think she's probably right. I don't think it got us.
Of course it got you. Of course Skynet picked both
Really?
of it. Yes, it got both of you.
Wow.
You would say absorb knowledge. Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, all right.
That's great. Okay, man, nobody got the 2 points, but Skynet did. How dare you?
Skynet wins. Oh no.
How dare you guys let Skynet win? Take over the Earth. Gosh darn it.
Sign up things to come.
This will be interesting. I'll in the future. I want to see some interesting ways that we can kind of, it's out there. So interesting ways to play with it and see what Skynet will do too in some of these trivia things. So, all right.
Yeah, that was our guest.
That was
Yeah.
a special guest.
Our guest panelist.
I'm gonna
Our
give
guest
different
panelist.
AIs a chance too. So we'll have Skynet. We'll have Sunny. We'll have a whole bunch of different types. So. All right, but we got to do the art one too. So I'm gonna do the artist trivia thing coming soon. So we'll see that
Okay.
on different times. All right, so we're at the top of the hour. Again, thanks everybody for coming and sharing this time with us. We know you can spend any second of your time somewhere else. So we really do appreciate it when you come share it with us. So
Like and
if you
subscribe.
enjoy, yep.
Like
If you
and
enjoy-
subscribe.
Darn right. If you enjoy what we do, if you
YouTube.
enjoy spending time with us, like, subscribe, share. All of it helps us, right? So we would appreciate it if you did that. All right. Now, since we're at the end, there is one thing that we always love to say at the end of every show, and that is make mine
Mine
Silverline.
Hi, I'm Greg Horn. Make mine Silverline.